Thanks, Niranjan. Uh, you see, over the years, I've realized that economics is a very, very peculiar discipline. The reason it's a very peculiar discipline is because everything, virtually nothing that we teach you or examine you on actually exists physically in the real world. Everything that we teach you exists in our minds. Demand curves, supply curves, indifference curves don't exist out there. They exist in our minds. But they're still very important. They're important because they're the tools through which we make sense of a very complex reality. And therefore, being an economist essentially is being able to use these tools very, very effectively, very, very well. Right? So the first part of economics training is essentially in building these abstract tools, right? Being able to speak and in an economist's language, being able to, being able to talk to other economists in that language the economists have developed in order to be able to make sense of the very complex reality around you. So that is what makes you a specialized economist. And a large part of my thinking in Meghnad Desai is essentially helping training students to use the language of economics, use the tools of economics to analyze the real world and say something useful, i.e. think in terms of economic models. Right? That's the first. The second part, of course, is with abstract theory, you need also to be able to analyze data. And analyze data is not only running regressions. I can think of million ways in which a regression can go horribly wrong and give you trash. Right? It's equally ability to think about the data in a statistically sensible way. Right? So that's the second part of the training that we try to provide you here in our econometrics courses. So though we teach you to learn things like R and this data and actually estimate regressions, the larger part of the training is how to think sensibly about the data, how to think sensibly about the regressions before you run the regression, so that the results you get actually have some relation to what you are seeking to do. Right? Now we are also tying these courses up with courses like so given these skills, you actually are equipped to handle a whole host of problems, be they problems in big data analytics or be they problems in public policy. Right? Okay, especially in big data analytics, I think we saw over the years that a crying gap between people who could classify data, right, twist data, make it, put it into slots, and people who could analyze data. So I think we needed to bring those two skills together. Right? Individuals who can estimate parameters from the data, call out relationships from the data in a statistically sensible way. Individuals who can think about the data and make predictions from the data, right? Or say something or understand the patterns in a theoretical fashion from the data. And individuals who can build, who have enough computer literacy to be able to actually program things, to be able to classify data, to be able to, right? So these three skills, and currently we don't really see that confluence anywhere, and it's that kind of a confluence which we are trying to provide in courses of big data analytics. So it's in a sense a fairly unique kind of skill set that similarly in dealing with public policy. Again, you have the ability to think about data, to actually think about concepts and relationships in an abstract fashion, and then you have an ability to use these economic models and the data to actually solve the public policy kind of problem. So that is really the kind of core of the training that one is trying to provide in a way which is very much related to the real world, in a way which is designed to train students to be relevant to the real world right from the start. Right? So that's the kind of in a nutshell would be the kind of the philosophy behind the training that we have at Meghnad Desai.